Hi, I'm April N, and this week on Flirt, I'm going to talk about study tips. Now, some of you guys are midway through your first semester or something like that in your schools. Maybe you almost finished with the first quarter in that semester. So, I want to give you some study tips for the middle of the semester where things get a little bit tough. Now, if you're in the collegiate levels, you can be getting near to midterm time, and you don't want to be all stressed out because of midterm. Now, if you're just the type of person who just sits in class and listens and then goes home and forgets everything that happened in class, then you need to find a new method. I suggest taking notes, even if you don't end up looking at the notes. You should at least write it down, because there's something about physically writing something down and seeing what's being taught on paper that you wrote yourself. There's something about that kind of just makes it stick to your brain. I know that can be overwhelming for you. And unfortunately, I had to take those classes too. So it's not like I can say, well, I'm going to be a musician, so I don't need to take calculus. That's not the case. I still had to take calculus. So you may end up being in a class that you don't want to take. But that's why note-taking is really important. You've got to make sure to really just take notes. Everything that your teacher writes on the board and things that your teacher says, especially, and let me say that again, especially if your teacher says the thing again. If you notice that your teacher keeps like repeating certain things, and maybe some classmates are like, oh, you really said that, that's a really big hint to you that that's going to be on the test. So you should pay attention to those things, because I notice the pattern, and I do that naturally as a teacher. Like, I know what's going to be on my test, so I will repeat it several times to make sure that my students really know, because I don't want them to fail. Now, if you're in college, you really gotta have pages and pages of notes, because one class, it's not an everyday thing where it's 45 minutes every day of a certain topic. It's 2-3 days a week of one class that's like 2-3 hours long, maybe. Sometimes it's even one day a week for 4 hours. So really, they're jamming and you're in the semester or the quarter system, which is just a few weeks. And so basically, you're learning in one season. In one season, you're learning everything that you need to learn for the entire year of that specific topic. So you imagine if you have 10 weeks, that's a lot of information to put in that amount of time. 10 weeks only, and you're putting a year worth of information in there. So if you miss a class, really make sure that you have some friends. Make some friends in class the first day of school. So in case of emergencies, or in case you know that one day you're going to be absent, you have someone that can take notes for you and will share that with you. But make sure that you befriend people that actually take notes. So maybe observe people and see how well they're taking notes. If they're writing down what's on the board, what the teacher's saying, that's the type of person that you need to befriend and be kind of have a buddy system. If they're absent, you share your notes with them, and vice versa. It's really great to have a buddy system, and it really works. But a lot of times you're just like, oh, this is my friend, I already know them, but they don't take notes at all. That's not going to be a good buddy system, because they're not going to take notes for themselves. So why are they going to take it for you? Some things can be very complicated. Like, I was never really good at physics or chemistry or biology or math. That's a lot of topics. Wow. But I was never really good at those classes, and I would really listen and take notes and do all my homework. But it was really difficult, because I would do the test and I would really try my best and try to apply the notes the best that I can. But I just didn't understand. It's specifically chemistry. I was so lost in that class. So if you're in a class that you hate, just really suck it up and try your best and take notes and study and do the best that you can, because it'll be over before you know it. And really have a buddy system, because the buddy system is really going to help you studying and learning and all that stuff. Because even in college, there's something that is called GEs, General Ed, and what that is just basically all the general stuff, just to make sure that you really did get educated in high school. So they'll test you, they'll assess you to see how high of a level you need to be in English and in math, and then you'll be in those classes. Now, hopefully, you won't get into a remedial class, and you can just do one semester of that class, and you're done with it. You don't have to take it again. That's your requirement for that particular general education. But unfortunately, a lot of people end up in the remedial levels of English and math, and they have to take quite a few semesters, maybe even a year or two of English and math to be able to do all their GEs. Pass your classes, guys. I mean, Just try your best, study, have a buddy system, really work hard, because that's what's going to get you the success that you want. Because trust me, having a college degree, it really does pay off. And I couldn't be more happy with my college degree, because I now have this great job, and I really love my job, and I love my work. It's so gratifying. And most people think, you're crazy. How can you possibly enjoy being a middle school and high school teacher? I just do, because I am helping people, and I am getting my content across, and my students are enjoying it, and they really love being in my class. That's my rant for the week, and I hope that my tips are very helpful to you guys. I know that it can be very stressful to try to do all your work and study for tests and try to apply for colleges and all this stuff. It can be really stressful. So really work on trying to have something to have that all organized. Time management, a planner is a really good idea. Just have a planner or a calendar where you write down things, and try your best not to procrastinate. That's the biggest thing. Try not to procrastinate, because that really is the biggest downfall for most students, is that you procrastinate and then you just run out of time because you just left everything for last minute, and it adds up like a mountain. I hope that my tips are helpful to you guys, and I will see you next week with a new topic. Bye.